Bismillahi walhamdulillahi assalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah amma ba'd rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my dear brothers. Today inshallah we will start a new surah, Surah An-Nahl, and we will try our best to cover from ayah number 1 until 40. Just like every other surah, we will go through a quick introduction of this surah. It's called Surah An-Nahl. This was revealed in Makkah, and the total number of ayahs are 128. An-Nahl means the word An-Nahl means bees, or in some of the Tafsir it's also mentioned honeybees. It's mentioned in ayah number 68. As I was saying previously, the name does not mean that this is the central idea of the surah. It's just one of the topics that was discussed, and the name is used to differentiate this surah from the other 114 surahs. It doesn't mean that this is really the central theme of the surah. So the context is that this was revealed in Makkah before migration to Medina and before the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu. And sorry, is there a comment? Okay, I thought that I heard a comment. So after 7 years, there was a famine that hit in Makkah. It came to an end. That means famine means basically a shortage of food that happened. It was a very tough period. It came to an end, and now this period is right before the migration of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So there was a lot of opposition from the disbelievers of Makkah, and Allah subhanahu wa taala is addressing them straightforward. Obviously, there are a lot of actions that are for us to implement in our lives as well as we go through the surah, inshallah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is providing very convincing proofs of Tawheed, oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the refutation of shirk, because a lot of the people at that point in time, we know in Makkah, there were a lot of idol worshipping that was happening. And it's not just idol worshipping, as we know that Quran is still true for today as well. So anyone who shows arrogance, anyone who believes in any being other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as being the source of any goodness, or they will provide me something, and if we start to associate attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with any other being, it can be anyone in position of authority, anyone our boss or a prime minister or anyone who seems to be in power. Obviously, all of these are agents, as we have discussed before, the concept of shirk. So there is no harm in relying in your network and relying in different people as your network who can support you. But we should always keep this in mind, that the source of everything, our creator, and everything that happens is by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we will see that today inshallah as well. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is also showing us signs that how he created this universe and what we should look at and ponder. A lot of signs will go today inshallah as well. The mountains have been set on the earth to stabilize its balance. So they are like pegs, or they are pivot that hold the earth. And this was stated in the Holy Quran 1400 years ago, and now this is being proven by science as well. And we go through a lot of the signs that are now getting proved after thousands of years of revelation of the Holy Quran. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala obviously provided signs in the lives of the bees, the birds, the animals, how they are created, constructed, and we'll go through them today as well. So let's start our study of this surah, inshaAllah. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Ata amrullahi fala tasta'jilu. The command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will come, so do not be impatient for it. A lot of the times the chiefs and the disbelievers were asking the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, oh, so you're promising us punishment, oh, so you're thinking that we will face a severe punishment, bring it. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling them, yes, it will come, just be patient, don't be impatient about it. There's a timing for everything, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows how much more times he wants to give for people to revert back to him and to come back to him, or some of those people who just continue in their wrong path so that their punishment gets multiplied as well. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has his own reason and timing that he has determined. So this is what he's saying, that yes, the command from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will come, don't be impatient, don't ask for it. Subhanahu wa ta'ala amma yushrikun. Glorified is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He is exalted above everything that they associate with him. All shirk that they do, be it stone gods or anything that they worship, even their chiefs or whosoever, all Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is exalted and highest above everything. Yunazzilul malaikata birruhi min amrihi ala man yasha'u min ibadihi an anziru annahu la ilaha illa ana fattaqun. He sends down the angels with the inspiration of command. He gives the revelation via angels upon whom He wills. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chooses His prophets and messengers, and then revelation is given to them, and all of them come with the message of Tawheed from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it is on Allah's command, and He chooses them upon His own will amongst His slaves, and so that they can warn, and there is no God except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we should have taqwa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we should fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the core message of all messengers, and this is the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam bringing the same message, same revelation from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to all the people that are in front of him who are trying to oppose him. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is reminding everyone that, because they used to also say, why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose us, why didn't chose you, why didn't He choose one of us, one of the chiefs, one of the wealthy person, one of this and that. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving the answer. This is none of your matters. You don't even need to think about it. This is the chosen person, the chosen prophet is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, and He has brought you a warning in order for you to know that there is no God except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we should have taqwa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, meaning that we should fear Him if we do not follow the guidance. خَلَقَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضَ بِالْحَقِّ Ta'ala amma yusrikun. He created the heavens and the earth in truth, and He is exalted above what they associate. Now in the following ayahs, there will be multiple things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will show us how meticulously and how perfectly they have been created. خَلَقَ الْإِنسَانَ مِن نُطْفَةٍ فَإِذَا هُوَ خَصِيمٌ مُبِينٌ. He created the humankind from a minute, a small quantity of semen. Then behold, he becomes a clear opponent. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is showing how man is created. Obviously, a man and a woman, they get married, and then they enter into this special relationship, and with that the exchange of this discharge happens from a man into the female's body, and with that the entire process of the reproductive cycle starts, and the creation of man starts. This start is coming from a very small drop of semen that is discharged from the male's body, and that enters into the female body. There are a lot of details that are mentioned in Quran that are now being verified from science, and they know, yes, this is, and science continues to confirm that yes, this is indeed the process. Yes, this is what happens. This is what happens. And in multiple surahs, multiple levels of these reproductive process has been explained for us to understand. And the miracle is that this was revealed 1400 years before to the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when the science and technology had not reached that advancement that it is today. So for us, we can even verify all of these things via science. And even if we were not able to, then even we have to believe in Holy Quran being the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who's our creator. Nuruddin, you have your hand raised. Please go ahead. Do you have any comment?
Assalamualaikum, sir. Sir, I just joined the class. I was having trouble with the error. So I can see the screen. I can see Quran4teens has started screen sharing, and it's still loading. I can't see the screen.
You cannot see the other guys. Can you see the screen?
Anyone we can see the screen.
Alhamdulillah.
Okay. So maybe the other kids are able to see, and I also have another device here on which I can see, and it's connected on a different network. Nuruddin, maybe you need to refresh your network.
Maybe my internet issue, so I will see. Thank you.
Please check. Thank you so much. Thank you for raising this. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy and connect you as well, and you could see the entire thing. Otherwise, inshallah, I will post the video as well, so for you to review later on in case you miss anything. Okay, excellent. So basically, there are two parts of this ayah. One is about the creation and the reality of the human beings, how they are being created from a drop of semen. And this is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying. And then what happens? And then behold, the last part, فَإِذَا هُوَ خَصِيمٌ مُبِينٌ. Then behold, he becomes a clear opponent. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is reminding the reality that this is how I created you. And now you're opposing and you're becoming a clear opponent of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So you have this audacity to oppose and become an enemy of Islam and an enemy of your creator and the enemy of the guidance that he's sending you. So imagine your reality, how you got created and how you were a weak baby and you were created from a drop, and then you were born like you could not even move and do anything. And then now you have grown up and you think that you're powerful and you're becoming arrogant. So this is a very important point for us. First, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is reminding us from where we came from. What's our original start of existence? This is a visual graphic that I could find where they have shown a male semen, a drop of it that that is going through, and it will fertilize the egg inside a female body. So this is your reality. This is how you started. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is really reminding us, as well as the mushriks and the disbelievers, that this is the minute way you were created and you started. And after this existence from a drop, man has become a clear opponent of his creator. It doesn't make sense. We think of ourselves very high. We think of ourselves, oh, we are arrogant, and we are kings amongst in our heads. And we have seen multiple stories of Namrud, of Firaun, all of these kings that came in different times, and different messengers brought them. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's messenger, Ibrahim alayhi salam faced Namrud, Musa alayhi salam faced Firaun. So they brought in the message and they were so arrogant. Oh my God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is reminding. And same thing now in front of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the mushriks, they are trying to attack him and say, no, we don't believe, and no, there is no such thing like this, and all of this. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is reminding them this. What should be the action for us from this ayah? Who will tell me? So look at this. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, this was your start, this is your existing, and now you have become arrogant enough to oppose Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So what should be our action from this? Who will tell me this? Anything that comes to your mind going through this ayah. Yes, Aziz, please go ahead.
We should stay humble in front of Allah and in front of everyone. Like, clear opponent could mean clear opponent not just against Allah but against people. Like, he thinks he's better than everyone. So we should be like humble towards Allah especially, and towards the people. Because we're not really that big in the grand scheme of things. Like, Earth itself is like 1/20 in the universe. I read Earth is in our galaxy. Earth is like 1/20th of a hair strand. So then that's the Earth. Compare that to us. We're so like unimportant compared to the universe. Not compared to our galaxy. Not compared to Allah. So compared to Allah, you can only imagine.
Exactly. So we don't have a choice. Brilliant answer. Jazakallahu khairan, Aziz, for and even for the perspective that you gave, that even if you look at the universe, we are small, insignificant, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is creator of all. So we have to realize how we were created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now it is proven by science as well that this is, yes, indeed, the creation process. And this was miraculously mentioned in the Quran, where there was no technology. They could not take these pictures and visualize, okay, this is now the semen is entering and all of this, and the companions were sitting in front of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and they were looking at. No, they believed at that point in time, because the Holy Prophet was saying is, and revelation of Allah was coming. And by the way, science continues to catch up to these concepts. It's not like science always continues to catch up, and in the past whatever years, hundreds of years of progress that the science and make, the only thing they do is confirm, yes, this is also true in Quran. Yes, this is also true in Quran. Yes, this is also true, and everything. They haven't refuted anything. It's only a matter of time that science catches up, and only the knowledge and confirmation from science will happen to an extent that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to know and what is beneficial for us. This is also something that we should keep in mind. So having this point as a fact, there is no choice of even opposing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There is no choice of even opposing the guidance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is reminding us, this is how minute you are, just like Aziz just mentioned. So how can we even think that we can be opponents of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? We can be opponents to the guidance. We can be opponents of Islam. So it's a very important action for us. We should really realize and try to submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as his slaves, follow the guidance versus becoming opponents of it. Moving forward, wal an'ama khalaqaha, and the cattle he created them. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give us examples of different creations. There's cattle that he created them. Why? Lakum fiha dif'un wa manafi'u wa minha ta'kulun. And in them there is warmth and benefits. We use the wool of lambs, and lamb wool is so, the branded things, it's so expensive, and all of these things, and Kashmiri silk, and there are many benefits that we get from the cattle, from cow's skin and hide skin, and I don't know, all of these things that we benefit from, and we wear these clothes, and we wear such things as well, made out of skin and leather, and all of these products that are made, that are a source of warmth and a lot of benefits that we get. And also we eat, they're a source of food for us and a source of risk for us, that we eat. as well. So there are lots of benefits that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created out of this creation. Now, as we are going through these ayahs, I want you to appreciate the perfection of the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How perfect these creations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are, and how numerous benefits we continue to take from all of these creations. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning the kettle here. وَلَكُمْ فِيهَا جَمَالٌ حِينَ تُرِيهُونَ وَحِينَ تَسْرَحُونَ. And for you in them is beauty when you bring them in and when you take them out. People used to be a lot of proud when they used to take their cattle out, when they used to be the herdsmen, and when they have these fancy cattle or nice goats. And we see this, by the way, there is a glimpse of this as well during Eid al-Adha, although it's not correct, but in different parts of the world, especially in Pakistan and in those areas, people are bringing these animals and they're showing off and making them wear adornments and all of this. Obviously, that should not be the motive and origin. However, yes, when people used to take out their cattle, they used to feel good about their beauty and how they are, they are taking them, and they are beautiful cattle, beautiful goats and cows and camels and all of the cattle that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created. So there was indeed beauty and attraction as well, and people felt proud of their herds when they used to carry them. وَتَحْمِلُوا أَثْقَالَكُمْ إِلَى بَلَدٍ لَمْ تَكُونُوا بَالِغِيهِ إِلَّا بِشِقِّ الْأَنفُسِ. And they carry your loads to a land that you could not reach it except with great trouble to yourself. So imagine at that point in time, and even today, a lot of the animals are used to carry a lot of stuff, horses, horsebacks, cattle, and all of these carts that we have created, the horse carts and animal carts and donkey carts and all of these things. They really help us to transport a lot of the goods, as well as they are still used as a means of transport for people. Inna rabbakum la raufur rahim. Indeed, your Lord surely is the most kind and the most merciful. Further details. Wal khayla wal bighala wal hamira litarkubuha wazina. And horses and the mules and the donkeys for you to ride them, and as an adornment as well, so you feel proud, and then you beautify them. It's like their rides. These days we have cars, and people put a lot of modifications on the cars to even make them beautiful and all of this, and these modifications and upgrades and paints and spoilers and everything that we use. So you can draw these parallels as well. Plus, even today people have these animals that they keep. People love Arabian horses and such a beauty and how they maintain them and all of that. وَيَخْلُقُ مَا لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. And he creates also what you do not know. So there are lots of things that we do not know even. And yes, science has tried to identify all the things that are found in our earth, and naming them. And it is very difficult, by the way. Biology, for me at least, was one of the toughest subjects, because there's so many things that you have to memorize and names and everything of the creatures, and then the creature and the parts and the body and all of this. So if you look at it, this is the I just searched on Google anatomy of a horse. Anatomy means how its body is made and what are the details. So if you just look at the horse anatomy diagram that is on the left, this is just showing the muscular system, only the muscles, not the bone structure, not the veins and the arteries that are built there. So there are multiple systems within these animals, but just look at the muscular system and look at the details, how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has defined and crafted everything. This is beyond amazing. This creation in itself in front of us is telling us how perfect our creator Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is, and how perfect all of this creation is. And you can see how these horses are made and they are used, and their strength. They are so strong. A horse is so strong, by the way, that it can just topple a human being. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made the horses even submissive to man, and we are able to ride on top of them and guide them where we want to go, even raise them, hit them with a stick and all, but still we are able to control them. Why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made them for us and to benefit for us. Otherwise, if you look at physically from a scientific standpoint, there is no way a man can ride a horse or a camel or a cow or whatever and everything that gets done with it, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has enabled man to benefit from all these much more powerful beings. But anyways, this is just one thought. You can search for multiple animals and multiple signs, and you can get into the details and the details and the details. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying there are things that you do not even know of. So if you we will see the last part, if you just focus on this ayah, that Yes, so there are horses, mules, donkeys for you to ride and as an adornment, as beautify, you can beautify them and everything. وَيَخْلُقُ مَا لَا تَعْمَلُونَ, and he creates what you even do not know. Then I just started searching on Google and I looked at, okay, fine, what are the what is the meaning that, what are the other creatures? So before I let you know the results of my search, can you tell me what does this mean? Allah SWT creates what we even don't know. What would it mean? Are there other creatures that we know about? Yes, go ahead, Umar, please.
Sir, Allah Ta'ala can create whatever He wants, and we like we pray for Him, but He doesn't need our prayer, and that shows that He doesn't need to tell us what He creates because we are not His owners. Nauzubillah, He is our owner. So He gives the information which He wants to give to us.
Brilliant answer, Umar. Jazakallah khairan. Yes, Aziz, you have your hand raised. Go ahead.
So Allah SWT creates what we don't know. Like, we haven't explored it, like 80% of the sea hasn't been explored, like, or mapped, or like no one knows about 80% of the sea. That means that all of the animals and the, like, just the sea, that's just the sea. All of those animals haven't been explored yet, and plant life. And if you look at the brain, scientists barely know how the brain works, like, and even like the soul, like, science hasn't got up to the point where it can like understand the soul and how a human being lives and then dies. Like, what's the difference between a dead human being and a living human being? Like, what is the difference between the two?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Jazakumullah khairan. Brilliant answer. Was there any other comment from anyone? Okay. Excellent. Jazakumullah khairan, both Umar and Aziz. And yes, Aziz, by the way, the first thing that came to my mind was the creatures in the sea. And I searched it and I found these different images. Some of them were named. And I'm sure, as you said, there are lots of creations that have not even been exposed. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala determines the timing, as Umar was also saying, that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will decide when science will even explore and unfold things for human beings. And by the way, imagine these hundreds and thousands and maybe millions of creatures that Allah SWT has created. We don't even know the benefit for us. So still, I mean, imagine the medications, how far healthcare has to go in order to, find all the benefits in this creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They are all limited by their research and development and the budgets that they have and limited objectives that they have to solve and certain diseases that they focus on, and labs and resources and time and money. Everything that is needed is limited for people. So it is only a matter of time that they discuss it. I mean, it's like it requires certain time and everything, and the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continues to amaze us. So I just searched for it, and now my question is, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala creates what we don't even know, what should be the action for us? So if you look at this entire ayah, what can we drive as an action? And horses and mules and donkeys for you to ride as an ornament, and he creates what you don't even know. So what should be our action?
So we have to wait for it.
Yes, brilliant. You're right. So we should wait and understand what other creatures, and we can learn about it as knowledge grows of human beings. Thank you so much. I think it was Shahrukh. Jazakallah, Shahrukh. Yes, Aziz, go ahead.
We should be humble because we don't even know what's in our own earth, let alone like outside our earth. Like, we don't know everything about the earth, and even though Allah knows, like, so we should be humble. Like, if Allah knows about everything in the whole entire universe, then if Allah knows about that, then why wouldn't He know about the guidance and how is the best way for us to live it? Because of that, we should follow, and not say that, oh, I know so much, and what is religion, and I won't follow anything because I think I know so much, despite the fact that we know very little, and Allah knows a lot, so we should follow Him.
Brilliant answer, Aziz. Jazakallah khairan. Thank you, Shahrukh. Any other points on this one? No. Okay. You're right. And you basically summarize everything that I wanted to say. Action for us is that we should all definitely ponder on the amazing creation that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created us all around us. And then this should be a source of Iman for us, a source of belief in our Creator. this could not just have automatically happened without having a creator, an amazing creator who is a perfect creator, who's creating this amazing creations in front of us for us to wonder. And he's also reminding us via his revelations that he's sending to the messengers, and those messengers are the chosen ones. And Allah SWT is reminding us the entire story is complete in front of us to believe. Yes, there are a lot of things that are unseen in our religion, and inshallah we will get the reward of believing in that, in those unseen things. But still there are lots of things for us to ponder and see and look, and Allah SWT is reminding us in the Holy Quran. So there are lots of sources for us to believe in our creator, who is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Moving forward, walallahi qasdu sabili wa minha ja'ir. And upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the direction of the way, and among them a lot of the people are crooked. So the only direction that is the straight path is towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَلَوْ شَاءَ لَهَدَاكُمْ أَجْمَعِينَ. And if he willed, he would have surely guided all people. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would have willed, everyone would have been a Muslim. Everyone would have been guided. But then why wasn't it done like that? Because it's simple. It's a test. This is a test. A lot of the people make this argument, I am on the wrong path and I am a very sinful person. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted, I would have been. No, you need to understand it's a test. It's an equal level playing field for people. You can do the right thing, you can do the wrong thing. You can do halal, you can do haram. This life is about a test of us for those who will do the right thing. And by the way, if you take one step towards the right path, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes it easy for us twice, thrice, 4 times. So it's not like, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make it easy. And by the way, the same thing is on the wrong path. If you really deliberately have bad intention and you move towards a bad path, then sometimes that path is even made easy for us. So one of the definition in Tafsir, if you see the bottom part of the slide here, is the straight path, that is the Islamic monotheism for mankind, that is to show them legal and illegal, what is allowed, not allowed, good and evil things. So whosoever accepts the guidance, it will be for his own benefit. And whosoever goes astray, it will be for his own destruction, punishment, loss in this world and in the hereafter. هو الذي أنزل من السماء ماء لكم منه شراب ومنه شجر فيه تسيمون. He is the one who sends from the sky the water for you so that you can drink from it, and from it grows the vegetation in which you pasture your cattle, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned previously. This entire cycle, this is working perfectly. We receive the water cycle, it goes into the vegetation. The plants come out purely from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We just put in the seed, we put in water, we make sure it has soil, and then we pray, and then the plantation and everything comes up. We don't do beyond. It's not like somebody's holding the seed, extending it into a plant, or making of it from a stem, or stretching the leaves out. No, we don't do that, right? It happens from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is one of the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that we just have to do bare minimum, and everything happens on its own. In fact, if you look at collectively what is happening with the world in the past hundreds and thousands of years that we have been here, human beings have only been destroying the earth. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made it so amazing that it keeps on recovering on its own, and there are recovery mechanisms on the earth on its own as well, for our benefit. So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is reminding us of the amazing water cycle, irrigation cycle, plantation, vegetation, all of these things that human beings benefit from. They are all signs from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the creator, who's amazing and perfect. Yumbitu lakum bihiz zar'a waz-zaytuna wan-nakhila wal-a'naba wa min kulli thamarat. He causes to grow for you with it the crops and the olives and the date palms and the grapes and of every types of fruits. Inna fi dhalika la-ayatan liqawmin yatafakkarun. Indeed, surely in all these things, there is a sign for a people who reflect, who use their mind, who use their observation. All of this cannot go on its own. There has to be a perfect creator who has created all of this for us. And there is a reason for all of this that he has given. And obviously, we have to find it in the Holy Quran and Sunnah of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. وَسَخَّرَ لَكُمُ اللَّيْلَ وَالنَّهَارَ. And he has subjected for you the night and the day. All these creations are for us, for human beings. The entire universe is for human beings. And we read it in the previous lessons as well. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that all of these things, even the stars and the sky and the moon and the solar system and the galaxies and the universe, everything has been made subjected to mankind and human beings, and it is created for all of us. So, and he has subjected for you the night and the day and the sun and the moon. One nujumu musakharatum bi amri, and the stars that are subjected by his command. So by his command, all of this entire solar system and all the systems are working. Inna fi dhalika la ayatin liqaumin yaqilun. Indeed, those are surely the signs for a people who use reason. Allah SWT is reminding us again on everything and telling us, if you use your reason and your observation, then this is enough for you to believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and him being a perfect creator. وَمَا ذَرَى لَكُمْ فِي الْأَرْضِ مُخْتَلِفًا أَلْوَانُهُ, and whatever he multiplied for you in the earth of varying colors. إِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ لَآيَاتًا لِقَوْمٍ يَذَّكَّرُونَ. Indeed, that is surely the sign for people who remember, who say thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who do dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we learned in the previous class how to do dhikr, and there are multiple azkar that are there that we should pray after every prayer 5 times and everything, and those are in the sunnah of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There are some masnoon du'as and prayers that we should also pray as a thanks and dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَهُوَ الَّذِي سَخَّرَ الْبَحْرَ لِتَأْكُلُوا مِنْهُ لَحْمًا طَرِيًّا وَتَسْتَخْرِجُوا مِنْهُ حِلْيَةً تَلْبَسُونَهُ. And he is the one who subjected the sea for you to eat from it fresh meat, and that you bring forth from it, the salmon and the fish and the shrimps and the crabs and the everything that we eat, and also he brings out the ornaments that you wear, the pearl sets and necklaces and all of these, and shells and all of the the ornaments that we bring out from the sea. And you see the ships flowing. وَتَرَى الْفُلْكَ مَوَاخِرَ فِيهِ وَلِتَبْتَغُوا مِنْ فَضْلِهِ وَلَعَلَّكُمْ تَشْكُرُونَ. And you see the ships that are flowing through it, that you may seek of his bounty and that you may be grateful. Seek all these bounties, all these creations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and be grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَأَلْقَى فِي الْأَرْضِ رَوَاسِيَ أَن تَمِيدَ بِكُمْ وَأَنْهَارًا وَسُبُلًا لَعَلَّكُمْ تَهْتَدُونَ. And he has cast in the earth firm mountains, lest it should shake, so that it doesn't shake. These are like pivots. These are holding the mountains, the big mountains that we see on the earth. They are holding the earth with you, and rivers and roads, so that you may be guided. He has created natural pastures. There are mountains, there are troughs, and there are peaks, and there are lows, and all of these roads that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created for us to move around, for us to habitate, for us to live, benefit from everything. This thing about the mountains that are firm, and they hold from the earth to shake, and they are what are keeping the earth within its orbit when it revolves around, and the gravitational forces that are all around, these mountains are keeping it in place. If you search about it, you will find a lot of scientific research papers that are done based on this ayah alone. And I'm just quoting here one of the conclusions of the research paper. You see the reference here I've mentioned. It's a linkable thing. I will inshallah upload this presentation as well on the website, so you guys can click on the link and get this publication. The key conclusion of this publication was, mountains functions as a nail holding the earth together, and this process is known as isostasy. So isostasy is the concept, and this concept so it's a scientific concept where it is proven that yes, mountains are holding the earth as a nail. There are multiple images, multiple things you can find, and this point is not just mentioned here in the Quran, but we'll see in the upcoming surahs as well. Multiple things Allah SWT wa ta'ala says that, and the mountains Allah SWT wa ta'ala has fixed firmly, and the mountains are like pegs. So we will see this in the surahs that will come forward, and there are different diagrams, and you can search about this scientific fact that was mentioned thousands of years before, when there was no advancement in science and technology that could have proven it. That is proven today, Alhamdulillah. So regardless if it was or not, for us, our belief is that this is word from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We believe in it, and yes, science will continue to prove it as it progresses with its limited resources and everything. وَأَعْلَامَاتٍ وَبِالنَّجْمِ hum yahtadun, and landmarks, and by the stars they guide themselves. Early days, people used to guide themselves from stars. So what I did is I just went on Google and I searched how can you get guidance from Earth. And by the way, there is a star chart that is there. your guide to night sky maps that are there. They have plotted the entire globe now with different stars and how you can find your way from even one country to another. And all of this has become a science in itself. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning all of this thousands of years before, 1400 years before, to the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who did not have access to all these scientific things and everything else. But because it is the revelation from the Creator, it is a fact now. Today, it's a scientific fact, yes, and it's a study of stars that is being used to find different ways as well. So this is a navigation system, natural navigation system that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala laid out in the sky for people to travel. And we know that in those days as well, people used to rely a lot on the night stars. Okay, moving forward. أَفَمَنْ يَخْلُقُ كَمَنْ لَا يَخْلُقُ. Then he is who creates like one does not create. So basically, how can they are saying that, okay, fine. So they are doing shirk. They're saying this is also our God, this is also our God, this is also. Allah SWT is stating a point. How can you compare a thing that cannot even create, that cannot even move to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is the big creator? أَفَلَا تَذَكَّرُونَ. Then you will not remember, then you will not think, then you will not wonder. So these are the facts that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is putting in front of you. Still you are saying, no, this stone structure is my God. No, this person is my God who will provide me this. No, my boss is my God. No, my company is my God. No, my principal in the school is the God. My teacher is a God who will pass me. No, I mean, all of these people are, yes, part of your network whom you do benefit from. But God and Ilah is only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's the one who creates. He's the one who provides benefits to all. وَإِن تَعُدُّوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ لَا تُحْصُوهَا. And if you should count the favors of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you cannot even enumerate them. We just went through numerous favors of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and there are many more that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying you cannot even count them. Inna Allah la ghafurur rahim. Indeed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is most forgiving and the most merciful. Wallahu ya'lamu ma tusirruna wa ma tu'linuna. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows what you conceal and what you reveal. I want to remind you that this address is being happening. These ayahs are being directly addressed to the mushriks and the disbelievers of Makkah by the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Obviously, they are valid through times, even today as well, and they are being directly addressed to us as well. Those people who are a bit dicey, follow the guidance here and there, and not really practicing Muslims. I mean, it's not really enough for us to be born Muslims. We have to be practicing Muslims, and we have to really embrace the guidance, understand it, and make sure we are following the illegal, legal, and following the straight path as we saw the definition earlier. So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is also saying that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows what we are revealing and what we are concealing in our heart, what we are saying and if we mean it or not, if we are hypocrites or if we are truly the believers of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَالَّذِينَ يَدْعُونَ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ لَا يَخْلُقُونَ شَيْئًا وَهُمْ يُخْلَقُونَ. And those whom they invoke besides Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they cannot create anything but are themselves created. Whosoever is thinking that this person will provide, this God will provide, this stone structure will provide, sun is my God and moon is my God and stars is my God, and these stone idols are my God, or my boss is my God, or my teacher is my God, or someone else is my God. All of these things Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying are themselves created. They cannot be the creator. The creator is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who created everything else. So here the element of shirk completely goes away. There cannot be any other God than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And there is a definition of mushrikun related to this ayah that has been shared in different tafsir. I wanted to mention it for you. That is, the mushrikun are polytheists who believes in more than one God, pagans who do not believe, who didn't even have a concept of God, idolaters who used to worship idols, disbelievers in the oneness of Allah, those who worship others along with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and also those who set up rivals or partners to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Shirk is not just idol worshipping. Shirk is also when you start expecting from others around you what you should only expect with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Again, I'm not saying we should leave everyone and say, no, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give me this. No. We have to be reasonable. We have to use our network. All of these people and resources Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala laid for us to benefit from. But we should know in our heart and we should be clear in our mind that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the source of everything. I will first pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then I will rely on my network or other agents. Amwatun ghayru ahya. They are dead and they are not alive. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is explaining. So those creatures whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created, you are telling them that they're God. or these idols, you are calling them God. They are themselves, Allah SWT is clarifying, amwatun ghayru ahya, they are dead, not alive. Wama yashurun, and they do not perceive ayyana yub'athun, when they will be resurrected. These people who are worshipping these idols, they will get to know. They do not understand that now Allah SWT will resurrect them on the day of judgment, and they will be answering to the true creator, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, why they were doing all of this shirk when they were here. Ilahukum ilahum wahid. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the only one God. فَالَّذِينَ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْآخِرَةِ قُلُوبُهُمْ munkiratun wa hum mustakbirun. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the only one God, but those who do not believe in the hereafter, their hearts refuse and they are arrogant. La jarama anna Allah ya'lamu ma yusirruna wa ma yu'linun. No doubt that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows what they conceal and what they reveal. If they are hypocrites, if they have something in their hearts, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows that as well. Innahu la yuhibbul mustakbirin. Indeed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not love the arrogant ones. A very important action for us. We should never be arrogant, regardless of how much power Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us, regardless of how much wealth Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us, how much strength, physical strength Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us, how much mental skills Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us. We cannot be arrogant. All of these things are given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as a test for us, how we will use all of these things. Will we use it for the benefit for others, or will we look at all of these things to downgrade others and to look down upon them, that I am better and I am self-made and I did this and I am the achiever and I am the whatever, I'm top of this world. No, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is clearly saying He does not love the arrogant ones. And if you recall, who was the arrogant one? Shaitan. Shaitan was the arrogant one, and he has been the exiled one forever. And he's the one trying to put this waswasa of arrogance in our minds. He's the one who wants us to be like him and follow his wrong path, because he thought that I am the one who's made from fire. I am the one who's superior. This human Adam you have made out of clay, and I would not prostrate or salute him. So that was arrogance in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we have to be very, very careful, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala clearly says here, Innahu la yuhibbul mustakbirin. Indeed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He does not love the arrogant ones. So if that's the case, then we don't be arrogant like Shaitan. That's an action on us. Always come back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and come back to His mercy and forgiveness. Sometimes Shaitan gives this waswasa to us, you are such a bad person. You just watched something dirty. You did something dirty. You just lied now, so might as well lie again and again and again. He wants you to continue to that path. Even if you have made an honest mistake, come back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, ask for forgiveness, and get yourself on the right path immediately. Until you die, there is always a chance of coming back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and asking for forgiveness, regardless of what you have done. But what Shaitan will tell you is, no, you are just such a low person. There is no point now. Continue having a party, continue doing the dirty stuff, continue doing whatever you want to do. And you're already down and out. But what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, that He is merciful, and we need to go back to Him and stop arrogance like the Shaitan does. وَإِذَا قِيلَ لَهُمْ مَاذَا أَنزَلَ رَبُّكُمْ, and when it is said, what to them has your Lord sent down? قَالُوا أَسَاطِيرُ الْأَوَّلِينَ. They say, these are just the ancient tales. So when it is asked that, the revelation has come to you, the Holy Quran has come to you, then other people are asking these chiefs and people, they say, no, it's nothing, it's just an old story and everything. There are certain Muslims today who, when go to and talking to other Muslims and they want to appear cool and everything else, and they're like, what's your religion, what's your point of view in Islam? They're like, no, it's nothing, it's old stories, I don't believe in it. Yeah, it's a cultural thing. Yeah, just go on a Friday prayer and that's it. And some people don't think that Islam is cool, so they're always talking like this, that no, I don't believe in it. Yeah. My mom asks me to pray and I'm just praying, and my dad, just to show him I do that. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that these are the people who are disbelievers. When it is said to them that what they have received, or when they are being asked about their religion, instead of being proud, or instead of accepting it, instead of thanking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they are saying, no, it's just the ancient tales and all of this. So even being a Muslim, born Muslim, we should be proud of being Muslim, and should be saying, yes, we are Muslims and we follow these other tales. In fact, this is an opportunity when somebody is asking to educate them on Islam and inspire them with Islam as well. لِيَحْمِلُوا أَوْزَارَهُمْ كَامِلَةً يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ, that they may bear their own burdens in full on the day of resurrection. Everyone will be bearing their own burden. وَمِنْ أَوْزَارِ الَّذِينَ يُذِلُّونَهُمْ بِغَيْرِ عِلْمٍ, and of the burdens of those whom they misled without knowledge. So here, those people When in the previous ayah you saw, when it is asked, when they ask them, okay, what's the Holy Quran, and we have heard that you received some revelation and everything, they say, no, it's just old stories, don't even worry about it. So Allah SWT is saying they will first bear their own burden, that they were disbelievers. Secondly, they will bear the burden of those whom they misguided when they were asking. So they were said, no, it's just ancient stories. So this is also true for us. We cannot let that happen. Someone asks us about Islam and being a Muslim and whatever, everything, we should be telling them the right stuff, not just saying, oh, no, I'm not like that. And, just to appear cool that, yeah, I'm not religious and I'm so cool. Ala sa'a ma yadirun. Unquestionably, evil is what they bear. Allah SWT is saying there's not even a question. This is such a bad, evil thing that they are doing. قَدْ مَكَرَ الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِهِمْ فَأَتَى اللَّهُ بُنْيَانَهُمْ مِنَ الْقَوَاعِدِ فَخَرَّ عَلَيْهِمُ السَّقْفُ مِنْ فَوْقِهِمْ وَآتَاهُمُ الْعَذَابُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَشْعُرُونَ. Verily, those who plotted before them were, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala came at their building from the foundation, so fell upon them the roof above from them, and came to them the punishment from where they did not even perceive. All these hypocrites and all the planning that they are doing and they used to do, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will crash it all over them and they will fail. ثُمَّ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ يُخْزِيهِمْ وَيَقُولُ أَيْنَ شُرَكَائِيَ الَّذِينَ كُنْتُمْ تُشَاقُونَ فِيهِمْ. Then on the day of resurrection, he will disgrace them and say, where are my partners, those whom you used to oppose in them? So tell me, where are your other gods? Bring them. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will challenge them on the day of resurrection. قَالَ الَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْعِلْمَ إِنَّ الْخِزْيَ الْيَوْمَ وَالسُّوءَ عَلَى الْكَافِرِينَ. They will say, those who were given the knowledge, indeed the disgrace is on in this day, and evil upon the disbelievers. So those people who will be the believers will be saying this, and obviously Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be disgracing them in the worst possible way, and only evil and disgrace will be the fate for them on the day of resurrection. Alladhina tatawaffahumul malaikatu zalimi anfusihim. Those whom the angels take them in death while wronging themselves. So when you die and you are on the wrong path, and you die at that time, فَأَلْقَوُا السَّلَمَ مَا كُنَّا نَعْمَلُ مِنْ سُوءٍ. They would offer the submission, and they were and they would say that they were not doing any evil thing. Bala inna Allah alimun bima kuntum ta'malun. Nay, indeed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the knower of what they used to do. So what will happen is, when those people who are wrongdoers, when they will be following their path and doing wrong stuff, and angels will come and seize them in death, they would always say, they will say that yes, we submit and we did not do anything wrong. No, we were not, because now the reality will be in front of them. The test will be over. The test is during this life. You have to believe in the unseen. Once we die, the unseen becomes the seen. Angels are coming, everything is coming, and now you realize, oh my God, all of this was the reality that they were saying. And immediately the person would say, no, I submit, and yes, I did not do anything bad, anything. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying what? Bala, no. Inna Allah alimun bima kuntum ta'amalun. Indeed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the knower of everything that they used to do. Everything is getting recorded. If needed, it would be played back as well. فَادْخُلُوا أَبْوَابَ جَهَنَّمَ خَالِدِينَ فِيهَا. So enter the gates of hell and abide in it forever. فَلَبِئْسَ مَثْوَى الْمُتَكَبِّرِينَ. Surely it is a wretched, bad, worst place, worst abode, worst living place of the arrogant. Those people who were arrogant and they continued on the wrong path while the right path and the message was given to them. وَقِيلَ لِلَّذِينَ تَقَوْا مَاذَا أَنزَلَ رَبُّكُمْ. And it will be said to those who fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what did your Lord send down? قَالُوا خَيْرًا. They will say, good, it was khair. So now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is shifting focus on the believers. When it will be asked, and when it is asked from the believers, what is being sent down to you? What do they reply? Remember the reply of the other ones? They said, no, it's just old tales, ancient tales. I mean, no, it's about stories about the previous prophet. It's nothing for us. But when a believer is asked, what is in the Holy Quran? What is Islam? What does he say? He say it's khair, it's good, it's nothing but it benefits. Whosoever seeks that guidance and implements it on their life, it is khair for them. لِلَّذِينَ أَحْسَنُوا فِي هَذِهِ الدُّنْيَا حَسَنًا. For those who do good in this world is good already. وَلَدَارُ الْآخِرَةِ خَيْرٌ. And the home of the hereafter is even better. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make it easy for them in this world as well as in the hereafter if they follow the guidance. Wala ni'ma darul muttaqeen, and surely this is an excellent home, an excellent living place for those people who are righteous, who are fearing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who are muttaqeen. Jannatu adnin yadkhulunaha tajri min tahtiha al-anharu lahum fiha ma yasha'un. And there are gardens of Eden which they will enter, and from there, underneath them, there are rivers that are flowing from therein. Will be whatever they wish, whatever they would want, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will provide them, it will be provided to them. كَذَلِكَ يَجْزِي اللَّهُ الْمُتَّقِينَ. Thus Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala rewards the righteous people in this way, and this is how they will be rewarded. الَّذِينَ تَتَوَفَّاهُمُ الْمَلَائِكَةُ طَيِّبِينَ. Those whom the angels take them in death, who are pure, who are on the right path. يَقُولُونَ سَلَامٌ عَلَيْكُمْ. So they are being told, Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon him. May the blessing be upon you of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Adkhulu al-jannata bima kuntum ta'malun. Enter paradise for what you used to do. This is how they will be received. This is how they will be respected in Jannah, just because you were following the right path and guidance. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also enable us to follow the right path and also receive this salam from angels. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. هل ينظرون إلا أن تأتيهم الملائكة أو يأتي أمر ربك. Do they wait except that the angels should come to them, or should the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala come? So either that comes to them, the angels come to them to seize their life. Are they waiting for that time so that they will revert, or are they waiting for the final command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so the day of Qiyamah comes and day of resurrection comes, and then they are being called for? So what are they waiting for? Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has revealed everything. Everything is in front of us as well in terms of revelation. What are they waiting for? كَذَلِكَ فَعَلَ الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِهِمْ. Thus those who were before them. Similarly, they were all other nations as well. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala explained the stories of in the previous surahs. We went through all of them. وَمَا ظَلَمَهُمُ اللَّهُ وَلَكِنْ كَانُوا أَنفُسَهُمْ يَظْلِمُونَ. And no, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not wrong them, but they were themselves wronging. This is a very important point to note. Sometimes people think, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted me to be guided, I would be guided, and I'm a bad person because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't want me to be a good person. Please take this off your mind. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala here is clearly saying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't wrong them. They wrong themselves. They have bad intentions. They pick that path, wrong path, which is why they are on that wrong path. Yes, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has the knowledge, yes, He has the knowledge that what they will do, because we are His creations. But it's not like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wrongs them. Here it's clearly mentioned, they are the ones who wrong themselves. فَأَصَابَهُمْ سَيِّئَاتُ مَا عَمِلُوا وَحَاقَ بِهِمْ مَا كَانُوا بِهِ يَسْتَهْزِئُونَ. Then struck them the evil results or the punishments of what they did, and surrounded them what they used to do the mockery of. And then now they realize the truth. We have still about 6 ayahs to go in this lesson, and we have about 3 minutes. We may be over time. If some of you have other commitments, feel free to leave the class and you can review this part of the video later on. But if you want to continue, please feel free to continue. وَقَالَ الَّذِينَ أَشْرَكُوا لَوْ شَاءَ اللَّهُ مَا عَبَدْنَا مِن دُونِهِ مِن شَيْءٍ نَحْنُ وَلَا آبَاؤُنَا وَلَا حَرَّمْنَا مِن دُونِهِ مِن شَيْءٍ. And said those who associate partners with Allah, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had willed, we would not have worshipped other than Him anything, and our forefathers also would not have been forbidden other than Him. So what they are saying is the same thing, that if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted, we would not have done shirk. But we are not in control of anything. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't wrong anyone, who people wrong themselves. كَذَلِكَ فَعَلَ الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِهِمْ. Thus did those who were before them. Same things they are saying, what they are saying, the same things were repeated by previous nations who used to tell their prophets as well the same thing. فَهَلْ عَلَى الرُّسُلِ إِلَّا الْبَلَاغُ الْمُبِينَ. Then there is on the messengers except the conveyance. So basically Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying there is nothing on the messenger himself. It's not like the job of the messenger, the prophets, the holy prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam as well, is to pass on the message and guidance. There is no reprimand on them if people follow that guidance or not. The important thing is just to pass on the message. So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is reassuring the prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that for the messengers, their job is to clearly convey to the people. Then it is up to them that they will follow the guidance or not. That's their test. وَلَقَدْ بَعَثْنَا فِي كُلِّ أُمَّةٍ رَسُولًا أَنِ اعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ وَاجْتَنِبُوا الطَّاغُوتَ. And certainly we sent it into every nation a messenger that worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and avoid all the false deities. We went through the definition of Taghut in one of the previous lessons. Taghut is every false deity that is in our head. It can be an idol, stone idol. Taghut can be something wrong. It can be a wrong system. It can be a person. It can be a powerful influencer. It can be a powerful person or a powerful leader or a party or an organization. Taghut can be anything that is not on the right path. The false deities, the false people in power, the false organizations, the false concepts even are Taghut. That we should avoid and only worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the best way is to study the Holy Quran, the Hadith of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and follow his Sunnah of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. فَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ هَدَى اللَّهُ وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ حَقَّتْ عَلَيْهِ الضَّلَالَةُ. Then among them were some whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guided them, and among them were some their straying or moving on the wrong path was justified. So there are always both two types of people, and even around us there are two types of people: those who follow the guidance and they are practicing Muslims. Again, we have to differentiate between the born Muslims who feel like, I'm born in a Muslim family, I'm a Muslim, eventually I'll go to Jannah, might as well enjoy life. Let me watch this movies and dirty things and this stuff and that stuff and corruption and bribery and this and interest and riba and everything, and I'll just continue to having my life, but I'm a born Muslim, eventually I'll go to Jannah and all this. No, never look at born Muslims, look at practicing Muslims. You'll have to find them. They're very few. It's mentioned in the Holy Quran multiple times. Not many people are following the guidance except the few, and we see this repetition in the Holy Quran. So don't think that these are all, look at them, they are Muslim and they're on the beach and having a party and all of this mixed gathering, and no, I mean, you have to go and you have to really apply the guidance filter and see who are really practicing Muslims. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying there are some who follow the guidance, while there are some on whom the straying on the wrong path has been justified by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as well. فَسِيرُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ فَانْظُرُوا كَيْفَ كَانَ عَاقِبَةُ الْمُكَذِّبِينَ. So travel in the earth and see how was the end of the deniers. And we have seen it multiple times. There are multiple signs of different nations, especially in the Middle East and in Arabia parts, and you can see those different the nations of Ad, Thamud and Midian, and how they were so powerful, creating these mountains like houses and everything else. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, look at them. They are there are clear signs for you to learn from those nations before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings his azab to us. إن تحرص على هداهم فإن الله لا يهدي من يضل وما لهم من ناصرين. If you desire for guidance there, then indeed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not guide whom he lets go astray, and are not for them any helpers. So if you want to follow them, if you desire their guidance, if in the heart they are your inspiration, which are non-believers and and people who are on the wrong path, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not guide the person who doesn't want to be guided, and he will just let him go astray. And for them, there will be no helpers. And if we lose the help and the protection of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then there is no one else who can help us. Which is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala taught us to say, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. We seek protection from shaitan and all his evil whispers and everything that he wants us to go on the wrong path. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala clearly saying, if you really desire from the heart and that's your intention, you are really inspired by by a different lifestyle, a non-Muslim lifestyle, and if you don't want to be and you don't want the boundaries of Islam, you want to go out of them, and you inspire those people and you desire them, then you will be led on that path and you will be left to go astray. It's a test. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't force anyone to be on the right path or the wrong path or anything. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, yes, but we should continue to ask for guidance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Here there is a related hadith to this ayah number 37, narrated by Abu Hurairah radhiyallahu ta'ala anhu. I heard Allah's messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam saying, my example and the example of the people is that of a man who made a fire, and when it is lighted, what was around it, moths and other insects started falling into the fire. The man tried his best to prevent them from falling in the fire, but they overpowered him and rushed into the fire. The Prophet ﷺ added, now similarly, I take hold of the knots at your waist belts to prevent you from falling into the fire, but you insist on falling into it. This is Sahih al-Bukhari. This is a beautiful hadith that is explaining the concept clearly to us. When you light a fire, there are moths and insects that try to jump into the fire, and I don't know, I mean, they feel attracted and they go there. And even if you try to move them away, they will continue to persist. The fire here symbolizes the unlawful deeds which the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam warned the people. He can only warn. He's a messenger. Here the guidance can only guide us. We have to make the decision. If we are so much hell-bent to do the wrong deed, to watch a dirty thing, it's not like some hand will come and stop us or take away the screen or the mobile or whatever. No, it won't happen. You will be, because this is a test of the unseen. You have to stop yourself, and then you will be rewarded. If you don't, then you will be punished. So here, this hadith, I think Sahih Hadith, makes the concept beautifully clear that if somebody is insisting to do sin, then he continues to go on the wrong path. Sorry, Noor, you have a hand raised. Is there a comment or a question?
Yes, sir. I wanted to ask, how many ayahs we gonna complete today?
First 3 more ayahs. I said, right? So just 3 more ayahs. If you want to leave, then you can leave, and then you can watch the part of the video later. Okay?
No, I will wait. Thank you.
Yes, because I just want to complete these 3 ayahs, last 3 ayahs. وَأَقْسَمُوا بِاللَّهِ جَهْدَ أَيْمَانِهِمْ, and they swear by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala of the strongest of oaths, لَا يَبْعَثُ اللَّهُ مَنْ يَمُوتُ, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not resurrect the one who dies. So this is what the disbelievers and the chiefs are saying. No, we promise, and they make the swear that no, he will not make us resurrect, and there is no afterlife once we die. Bala, nay, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying no. وَعَدًا عَلَيْهِ حَقًّا وَلَكِنَّ أَكْثَرَ النَّاسِ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ. It is a promise upon him in truth, but most of the mankind do not know. And even if they know, they do not believe. So that's the issue. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that these people, they say, those who wants to misguide people and the disbelievers and their chiefs and everyone, that there is no resurrection. Once you die, you'll mix in soil and you're dead. And then we have all the signs, and we went through all these signs, and the way the plants grow from a dead soil, that is life coming out. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving them life. A dead seed that is not even moving. We are, again, as we discussed in the lesson, we are not the ones stretching it, and all of that. It grows by the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Similarly, by the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, all of us will be resurrected on the day of judgment. لِيُبَيِّنَ لَهُمُ الَّذِي يَخْتَلِفُونَ فِيهِ وَلِيَعْلَمَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا أَنَّهُمْ كَانُوا كَاذِبِينَ. That he will make clear to them that they differ wherein, and that may know those who disbelieved that they were liars. People who are disbelieving and saying such stuff, they are liars. Why are they liars? A very strong ayah coming. That is, again, that should reassure us as Muslims. إِنَّمَا قَوْلُنَا لِشَيْءٍ إِذَا أَرَدْنَاهُ أَن نَقُولَ لَهُ كُن فَيَكُونَ. Only our word to a thing when we intend it. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala intends to anything, the only thing he says, if he wants something to happen, we say is that be to it, and then it happens. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says kun, meaning happen, and it happens, meaning fayakun, and then it happens. So this is the crux of the matter that we need to understand. For Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, everything is possible. So everything and all parts of Quran and everything that is mentioned in the Holy Quran and explained to us in the Hadith and the Sunnah of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that can happen and that will happen because it is so easy for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make things happen. So this marks the end of today's lesson. We will quickly go through the actions from this class. Are there any questions or comments before we just go through the actions and close the class? Okay, excellent. Number 1 action was we have to realize how we got created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is now proven by science, miraculously mentioned in Quran 1400 years back. And the entire process, and it has come in different parts and different areas of the Quran, how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala creates a man. And this is now even proven by science. So this alone should enable us to submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala versus becoming a clear opponent, as it was mentioned in that. Look at the start. Look at your humble beginning. Look at what you were, just a drop of semen that came out from a man, entered into a woman's body, and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala started the reproductive process and the creation of a human being. You were that tiny little drop, insignificant thing. Even when you were born, you are like the weakest baby is of a human being versus all the animal kingdom. If you see, the human beings maybe is the most reliant on their mother or parents or anything else. So that's your start, and then you have the audacity and the arrogance to oppose Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who is bringing you the guidance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, your creator. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is reminding us of this fact, and this fact is now proven by science as well. Ponder on the amazing creation and believe in the creator, that is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We went through different examples today of the fruits, of the cattle, of the horse, of the entire system, the irrigation, the plantation, the rain, and how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created this entire universe, and he has subjected the day and the night and the moon and the stars, all of these things, the science of the stars and how we find direction from them, and all of this that is now proven by science, and science continues to learn about these things and only confirm everything that is mentioned in the Holy Quran. So this, for us, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, should be a source of first observing and you really fueling our Iman and belief that yes, we believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is the perfect creator, and he creates amazing creation that is all around us, and how he has subjected everything to us. And we also discussed that the strong animals like a horse and a camel and all, Allah SWT made them subjected to us. Otherwise, scientifically, if you look at the difference between the power of a human and a horse, there's no way that a human can ride the horse. If anything, the horses would have ridden or trampled the human beings. But the fact that Allah SWT is mentioning it in the Quran, how he has made it, the horses and these cattle subjected to the human beings, is in itself an amazing thing for us to start believing. And finally, don't be arrogant like shaitan. Always come back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and come back to his mercy and forgiveness. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't love the arrogant ones. This is very, very important. Sometimes we believe, we are strong, we are so much learned, we are educated, we have this skill, we have that skill, I have that mental capacity, and I've done this certification, I am a self-made person, I have this much wealth, I have this position, I am a president, I am a this, I am a that. All of this is given to Allah by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as a test. Don't make it as a source of arrogance. Make all of these things as a source of helping others and fulfilling on this test, because this is an amana that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us for a certain time during our lifetime, and we have to make sure that we action them in a way that we help others and we stay humble versus becoming arrogant and looking down upon people and looking down upon others as if who are you, I'm the one, I'm the best, and I did this and I did that. So because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't love the arrogant ones. That's it. That's the end of today's class. We will just quickly close the class. Apologies of going a bit over time, but I just wanted to complete this part of the lesson. Subhanallahi wa bihamdi, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Purity belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and all praise be to him. Purity belongs to you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and all praise be to you. I bear witness that there is none worthy of worship besides you. I beg forgiveness from you and I repent before you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my dear brothers. Inshallah, I will see you same time next week.
Thank you so much, sir.